5 people right now, we need you all there.
Yes, yes. In other words, you got a better offer, you're out of luck. You better be here.
Yeah, he's upstairs.
Okay. Last one here.
Nope.
No, 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 no. Should we have a standing ovation?
Have a quorum.
That's it.
the most important.
That's right.
Ready when you are.
I guess I'm running this, huh?
Yes.
We'll call the meeting to order of the Planning and Zoning Commission, Monday, July 14th, 2025. Call the roll.
Rocco Gonzalez, Mark Kleesner, Mark Piantek. Here. Tom Holtmeyer, Mayor Hagedorn,
Here.
John Boardman, Chuck Watson.
Here.
Chad Briggs.
Here.
Carolyn Witt,
Here.
Mike Wood.
Here. Rise to the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Agenda item number 2 is approval of minutes from July 9th, 2025. Any additions or corrections? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I move we approve.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the minutes. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? File number 25-0703, rezoning from R20, two-family residential to C3 general commercial at 620 Jefferson Street.
Yeah, so you can see on the map here, this is the property right here in pink. It is R2 overlay currently. They're looking to change to C3, which you can see is this light blue here. So property to the north is C3. That's what we have. Most of our downtown is the C3. So what the applicant's looking to do is a renovation on their existing building there, tear down and replace what they got going there. But if they do that, it won't meet setbacks for C2 overlay. It would for C3. So they're advised just to go with the rezoning as opposed to go for a variance for the setbacks. It makes sense to have that zoning in this area. So
It's right at the very end of that R2 overlay anyway, so
Yeah.
it's not in the middle of it, so it's right in the middle.
Right.
the staff's recommending the rezoning.
Any questions? Anybody in the audience like to address this issue?
Hi, I'm Billy Eckelkamp. I'm here on behalf of Louis B. Eckelkamp, Inc. This is part of Washington Lumber, which is there between Jefferson and Market Street. It was Rao Lumber for years and years. My family has owned it for almost 60 years, and this building was there when we acquired it. And when the tornadoes came through, it started getting in pretty rough shape, and we're gonna actually just take it down. But we wanted to make sure that we kept our zero lot line, and that's when we figured out it's somehow zoned residential. So have no idea how it got that, considering it's never been residential in the history of Washington. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Any questions?
No.
Anyone else in the audience like to address this issue? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion's approved. File number 25-0704, Super Gas and Food Mart Incorporated, Taco Bell preliminary plat. It's all yours.
So this is down in Washington Square. Taco Bell is looking for a subdivision. So currently they're part of the whole lot here with all the other businesses. They're looking to subdivide and make their own lot. Try and pull that up here. It's in your packets, but here's what the subdivision would look like. They have, clearly they're an existing building, so they have all the public utilities already in place. There was an existing 30-foot ingress egress easement that ran through the current building there, so they're proposing to move that over here just outside of the new subdivided property where there's a driving lane, and then also put a fire lane there. They will need to request a variance because the fire lane needs to be 26 foot wide, and they only have, I think at the lowest point, it's like 21 feet there. So they have scheduled to take that to the Board of Adjustments July 28th. And then if that passes, then they can get the final plat approval after that. They also have a note in the notes about a shared parking agreement so that they can meet the parking requirements for the business, so.
So there's no real change to the buildings down there, we're just changing the plat?
Yeah, they're subdividing so that they can change ownership and own it as opposed to leasing that building.
Okay, that makes sense.
Good.
That answers a lot of questions I had all weekend.
Yeah, me too.
So in what we got as far as just the scan plat there, it's hard to see what are the restrictions or what's causing the 21 feet and all that kind of stuff. I mean, is it curbing there or?
Yeah, it's the existing curbing, the islands right there on the other side of the parking stalls, and then the curbing next to the drive-through for Taco Bell.
The curbing by the drive-through and stuff?
Yeah, next to
Between
the
there?
drive-through there, yeah.
Like I said, alls we got was just the scan of that, and it's much smaller, and you just can't read anything out of that.
So they're basically proposing to put it, in this space here, and there's not 26 foot.
Okay.
The other thought was to put it here, but there's not 26 foot between the parking stalls and the sidewalk there, so.
Any further questions from the commission? Anyone in the audience like to address this item?
Steve Kinzel, I represent the John Barone, who's got the entity that's going to buy the Taco Bell. He's been there since this subdivision, or since this shopping center started. And this is the first opportunity after years and years of having the opportunity to buy the spot rather than, he's probably paid for it 100 times over. And so this is kind of like across the street when I was handling the Ghosh building, and somehow there's a 30-foot easement running right smack dab down through the center of the building. So that's being vacated. The fire lane was suggested closer to 47, but the fire chief is here. He believes it ought to be in the driving lane. He said that's where they're gonna go with that truck anyway. And so the variance is just to conform with what there is. And apparently the same kind of variance was granted to Los Cabos, I think, here, I don't know, within the last couple of years. I don't know when. So anyway, nothing's changing from what's been there for 40 years already. So we're just trying to make it legal so that we can subdivide off that lot. I'm happy to answer any other questions, but no different use going to be made. Obviously, he's done it for 40 years. He's going to do it a whole lot longer. So, and at some point, they're going to make him probably do a refresh and that kind of thing, and he'll have to comply with all the building codes and everything else that would come along at that point in time. So, no big secret here. Just it's the only outlot they've been willing to sell, and we're pressing to get it done. So.
Any questions?
That's
Thank
good.
you, Steve. Anyone else in the audience like to address this issue?
Good evening, Commission. Tim Frankenberg, Fire Chief. Just confirming what Steve says so that it's as built is what I had a conversation with him and BFA about it. And the way I view it is mirroring across the highway looking at Washington Crossing, where the fire lane basically runs on the outside of that. In those individual units, you get access. And I told him, quite frankly, we're going to take whatever we want from a parking and hard surface standpoint should something happen in that building. So As he said, when they do any modifications, we'll address it at that point in time. And we did do this. It wasn't necessarily for Los Cabos. It was the building at High Street. I think it's 6530 High Street. There is a fire lane variance on that property for a short piece where they could not attain it due to property line setbacks and building corners. So it's not unheard of. And this is, you're basically weaving a fire lane in between those parking blocks or delineators. And eventually it would make sense to run that fire lane as that properties change all the way down that entire lane and really define what that fire lane is. Because presently I don't think it's really well defined from a code perspective or a plat perspective. So, thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Anyone else in the audience? Seeing no further discussion, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion.
A second.
Motion and a second to approve. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. File number 250705, rezoning Lot 2 of proposed Stonehaven subdivision from R3 multifamily to R1B single family. Richard Steckel.
I'm up. So this is the property here, off Fifth Street, and we start with the rezoning. So this one and the next one kind of go hand in hand. So they're looking to, right now it's set up as R3. You have essentially a duplex on the property now. They're looking to subdivide a portion of this property and then put a single family home here next to the existing property. So they're looking to rezone it to R1B, which is what everything is around this. That's what the yellow is. So it'd fit in with that. It meets all the lot sizes for the new subdivision. Yeah, any questions?
That was gonna be my question, but we can talk about the preliminary plat as well too, if you got questions about it, but it looks like it meets the lot size. Any questions from any commissioners? Nope. Anyone in the audience like to address the commission on this issue?
I'm Richard Steckel, the owner. I can answer any questions that you might have.
Richard, you're not represented tonight by Echo Camp Kensel, are you?
No.
Okay, good. We just thought we'd get one agenda item in there without an Echo Camp Kensel coming through. So basically what he said is what you're at is you're looking to subdivide and
Yeah.
sell off and build a single-family home in there, huh?
Actually, I'm going to build my house there. I'm
Oh,
going to
okay.
eventually be selling the duplex.
Makes even
Okay.
more sense.
Yeah.
Any questions for the applicant?
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Anybody else in the audience like to come forward?
Yeah, there was a
Come on up,
hand.
sir.
My name is Robert Phil. I live at 1108 Horn Street. We and my neighbors live directly back of the proposed building there. We have a tremendous amount of runoff that was supposed to be addressed when that first building was being built up there. It hasn't been. We've got videos of the water running down to the back of our backyards. My neighbor, Patrick Kimino, has a video. The backyard of his house is completely inundated. It was supposed to be addressed, and apparently whatever's being built up there, the retention, whatever it was, it isn't working. We've got a tremendous amount of water since that first building was built up there. When the Schultes owned it, they kept it as a field, and the growth was kind of high, maybe six inches, stuff like that, and it held back the water. They mow the yard, it looks very nice, but now you got a lot of water running down. Plus it's got the solar panels, which is additional runoff. It's not on the roof, it's on the ground. And we're very concerned about how much more water's gonna run down the hill. And that's about it.
Any questions, Mr. Phillip? Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Anyone else in the audience?
I'm Richard Steckel. There is a stormwater retention pond, there's two of them, that the runoff from the house goes into the storm retention pond that was designed by the architect that built the house. So we have taken action to mitigate stormwater runoff, and I'd be happy to show this gentleman the system if he'd like to come over.
Any questions? Anyone else in the audience like to
Thank you.
discuss this matter? Board members, what's your pleasure?
So Charles, will that be addressed whenever they build it, correct?
Yeah, when they submit for building plans for that new house, we would take a look at the runoff for that building.
Okay.
To address that.
Will additional solar panels be allowed as well? I don't know if they're looking at doing it. I would think that they've all.
I mean, we'll have to see when those come in, but I don't
Do you think
know of
that
any
adds to
permits.
it or not? The runoff, in your opinion?
I mean, it's impervious area,
Yeah.
so it all factors into it.
If we're having problems with runoff, I just want to make sure it's addressed. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, we'll make sure with the building plans
Okay.
that gets taken care of.
Anyone else?
So what do you want, a motion on the,
Mike.
We're gonna, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you can come back up, sir.
I'd like maybe for the building commission, whoever this is, to come and check their backyards themselves of our houses and see what we're talking about. Maybe we'll give you a better idea of what we're talking about, because there is a tremendous amount of runoff, okay? So you're welcome to come, visit my house or Patrick's house and see what we're talking about, okay?
Most definitely.
so you want a motion to
We're gonna do a motion
approve-
on the rezoning of the lot first.
Want rezoning on the first or the,
The rezoning would be first,
Dividing
and the
it.
preliminary plat
Yeah.
would be after that.
Correct.
I would entertain a motion for the rezoning of the lot.
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second on rezoning. All those in favor, or any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Now we'll move on to the preliminary plat. I think we've pretty well addressed the issue, but it's a separate item on the agenda, so preliminary plat. I'd entertain a motion to approve the preliminary plat.
I'll make a motion.
A second.
Motion and a second to approve the preliminary plat. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Any other business?
As we
Doesn't
look at
look like it.
Charles- As we look at Charles, if you haven't,
Look at Charles, look
Oh.
at Darren. We good?
Nope,
Nothing else?
that's it.
We're good? I would entertain one additional motion.
Make a motion to adjourn.
second?
Second, motion to adjourn. All those in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you very much. Look at that, 17 minutes.
I know, I love it, I love it.
So water runoff and such is part of the approval after they submit plans.
Whatever you need.
I'm just glad you weren't looking for a volunteer. He's it, that's great.
Oh, thank you. Rolled.
I don't know, Mark, we're seeing so many of them now with all this rain. The storms are getting bigger. I can see us having a hell of a lot more.
Welcome back to Legend Company. Hey,